Okay, so I just did a kind of one page. I think right now in my life, I find that I like quilting a little more than crocheting, but I do like the fleece, doing the crochet edges. So I'll show some ideas about that, doing crochet edges. A lot of people just do, kind of straight crochet edges, and there's some real cute, actually, edges you could do if people are interested. I wanted to tell people about, this is similar to the Project Linus mystery quilt they have in the fall. Project Linus also hosts what's called a knit and crochet along. So they do a similar pattern. They provide instructions for those patterns, and I think they do videos as well. And they have a pattern for knitters and for crocheters. What's nice about this is the pattern isn't that expensive. You get a lot of videos and tutorials, and they have a Facebook site you can join and post your photos and learn from people and stuff. This is also a yearly fundraiser for each chapter as well. So if you purchase the pattern, you can designate your local Project Linus chapter to receive that money. It doesn't go to headquarters. So that's a nice fundraiser for us as well. But you also get a nice pattern and community involvement with Project Linus, the national organization. They also on their website, so their website is just projectlinus.org. They have patterns and links. It's not a very extensive patterns and links, but it does have patterns for Afghans, patterns for baby and doll quilt patterns, baby baubles. So I looked through this, and it has some nice ideas for people who might want to just take a look. You may know about these patterns, but I think a lot of what they post here are free patterns, especially at the top, and they'll tell you, if they're not free or not, or are free. So that this is kind of a nice resource for you if you decide you want to look at those as well. Pinterest, I don't know how many of you all use Pinterest, but Pinterest is a social media site. And when you create your account, you then have the option to pin things. Now, this is also, most people use it on their phone, but they do have a browser based. I know Gail uses Pinterest quite a bit, and you can follow people, or you can pin people you like. So I don't use Pinterest a lot, but I thought, well, I would post some stuff. I mean, I do have some stuff. When Gail was teaching different classes, I would pin examples of colors and ideas here. But I pinned a few ideas about crochet borders, because with crochet borders, again, I like making those fleece blankets with the crochet edges, and pretty much anything you crochet, any kind of edge, anything you do as a crochet edge, you can do on a fleece blanket. You just have to buy that special, it's called a skip stitch blade that can fit on your rotary cutter. Now this woman on the second video showing, she's just kind of poking a hole because she's using a smaller crochet hook, and she's just poking the hole in the blanket. That would work as well. I like the skip stitch because it puts the holes in my fleece for me. And then I, do pretty much just a single crochet. But Gail had found this, and what this is the cutest little elephant edging crochet for a blanket. You could do like, they have really cute fleece with blanket with elephants on it, and then you do the little elephant edging border. It has a free video tutorial too. So Pinterest is a lot of fun because it's a lot of just random everything, you know, but at least you can pin, you can follow people that you start liking. So they have crochet patterns. I was thinking that little owl, the owl pattern, that quilt pattern that Gail, that we published in the newsletter, making a little mouse to go with it. But I ended up, instead of crocheting a mouse, I bought some little finger puppets. So I'm gonna make a little pocket for the owl, put the little finger puppets in. But this was a cute idea if you want to make a mouse. You know, kids love the little toys with the blankets too. Or look at the little snails and stuff. There's just so many cute little things. Oh, what?
There were fish at the
fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at my fish. Aren't those cute?
Yeah, they are.
So if you had a, you know, blanket you were making with, you know, fish, you know, I actually bought some flannel from Material Girls that has an octopus and stuff. This would be really cute to accompany it. You know, you could just sew it on somewhere or just tie it, you know, to the blanket or something.
Yeah.
So that these are sort of cute ideas. You know, you can do knitting. You just start searching and everything pops up in the world. It's just amazing. A lot of this stuff, it's not necessarily all free. But again, you know, you can go through, some are sponsored links, some take you to Etsy, you know, but if you start following someone you really like, then you can follow that person. I think I only follow a few people. I'm not as interactive on Pinterest as I am on some of the other sites. But it's still kind of a fun site to visit. I think it's about, is it Ravelry? Ravelry?
Ravelry.
Ravelry. Yeah, it's Ravelry.
Ravelry. So this site, you do need to create an account. Once you create the account, you have a lot of different ideas. So I can go into my account. Let's see. Maybe I go. Okay, here. So in here, you have, once you create the account, then you're able to save stuff to favorites or a library, or you can create a notebook where you can kind of have, you know, I'm going to make this for so-and-so. It's kind of like a journal. In the advanced search function, you can decide if you want crochet or knitting. Down below, you can pick a category, and you can also pick, there's a lot of free patterns. As you notice, there's like over 300,000 patterns. Now, these aren't only blanket patterns. So, you know, you kind of have to pick and choose and decide, you know, if you want blankets and stuff. But if you wanted something like knitting, you can just throw knitting in there and it'll come up with all the knitting ideas. Did it come up? There. Or if you want knitting blankets, then it'll provide you with the blankets to knit. And then if you click into that blanket, then on the right, this is where you can add it to a favorite, a library. You can share it. Now, not all the patterns are free, but it'll tell you if it's not free. If I go into, for example, let me just say, add this to favorites. You can write comments. You can tag it, you know, so like if you want to search by your own tags, you can do that as well. But it's a nice site for saving maybe projects you want to work on, and then searching again for what other people do. It is more of a closed site, so it's not quite as loosey-goosey. They do have like community forums and events. Again, it is a self run user-based sort of community. It does have a couple people that manage it and stuff, but it's more of a user community of people interested in knitting, crocheting, fiber, weaving. So if you want to get into other hobbies as well. So this is a pretty cool site to be able to, you know, kind of find ideas. Because I know for me, I don't like to make the same thing over and over again. I tend to like to find maybe a new blanket pattern. Some blanket patterns I do repeat if I really like them, but all these sites, they give you sort of new ideas. I found this site, Fiber Artsy, and they have two really interesting articles. The only problem I had with the site was it's kind of busy with ads, but if you can just ignore the ads, they have two great links, 21 sites for free crochet patterns, and then 15 great websites for knitting patterns. So when you click in there, it takes you to sort of, it's a blog entry, but I guess they make their money from selling ads or something, because there's just a lot of ads throughout. So you kind of have to just ignore those. But what I like about the site is it does a summary about why they like that site, and they'll talk a little bit about it. So when you can get through all that ad stuff, then they start listing knit picks, Lion brand. Again, another ad, so just ignore that. They mentioned Ravelry, Crochet Pattern Central, Red Heart. So again, they do a nice summary of why they like the patterns. So it may be where then if you find a site you really like, just bookmark it instead of coming necessarily back to this article. And they do a similar with the knitting patterns as well. So this is a nice site, again, 15 best knitting websites, and they talk about why they like the knitting sites, stuff like that. So, but you just have to bear with the patterns and stuff. So that's kind of a fun site. Joann's, I think we all know Joann's. So if you go to their website, if you search for free blanket pattern, it will come up with free patterns to select. If you create an account, then you can save that to your Joann account. And then of course you can order, you know, yarn and whatever, right, from Joann, so it can deliver it right to your doorstep. So if you just type blanket pattern free, it generally will pop up some free patterns. Now they might mix and match where some stuff isn't free, but come on. But it generally when it was working, it was pretty good. Come on. I'll close some of these other windows. And some patterns cost, you know, you don't always have to go with a free pattern, but there's so much free stuff. Yeah, this is mixing matching. It's not coming up as well. It was coming up better this morning, of course, before the demo. Red Heart brand has a nice website as well. And when you go onto their website, you go up to patterns, and they'll have patterns for knit patterns and crochet patterns. You could do, you know, if you like doing hats, that's great too. Blankets and Afghans. Again, it'll come up with patterns, some cost and some don't. One trick is you can say best match, and you might be able to say price low to high if it's not coming up with a lot of free patterns. That way you can see the free stuff first before you delve in. This is a cute one if you're doing a project Linus. Look at that little bear face. Little ears. I don't know, people are very creative. And then you cannot miss YouTube. You gotta go to YouTube. YouTube has a way that you can subscribe to patterns, but you can also categorize patterns. So I put some into my crochet and knitting pattern, and there's a fun how to crochet edge borders for fleece. There was one tutorial, it was a ship, a Disney cruise, and they were teaching people how to make the crocheted edges on a fleece blanket. So I thought that was kind of cool. There was another one in here, just like the elephant one. Look at this cute one. It's a turtle edge. Wouldn't that?
Yeah, that's the crochet crowd one for the cruise.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this cute turtle one.
Double crochet into your next stitch.
Oh, wait, there's a, look at that cute little
Do a
border.
turtle border. Now for this border, I've got a little.
Is that cute or not?
Yeah.
I went to University of Maryland, so terrapins. What else on YouTube? So again, a social site, but you can almost find everything. Sewing tips, crochet, knitting tips. I like watching people crochet. What I thought I might do, because I'm not a knitter, they had some easy beginner, I think I saved one for easy tips for beginner knitters. Oh, here, how to knit for beginners. And it was really good. This one was actually done by Joanne Fabric. So free video, you can subscribe to all of Joanne's, or again, you could subscribe just to, you could just save the one you want. You just hit save and you can categorize it into your own categories. Again, you have to make an account to be able to save it. You can like it, not like it. You can discuss it with other people, because you'll see a lot of people talking down below. Again, I'm not a big, I was a little more of a social network person long ago, but I like to just watch the videos. I don't get into too much commenting anymore. So, and that's it. It's not, I didn't want to, overboard you with a lot of sites, just something to get started, maybe some new ideas. So let me stop sharing and stop recording, and